Wait till he finds out he can't actually pull really hot girls because he pulled you. Wait till he finds out you lowered your standards for him and went for personality. Never go for personality again.
No, because, like, how do you expect me to be submissive to you if you don't have any money? What am I submitting to? Poverty?
Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a video for you here today from Cosmicverse titled Why Men Aren't Getting Married Anymore. You know, it might have something to do with the fact that men are being scammed, that they're being robbed, that they're being abandoned and treated like trash, and, you know, the courts don't favor them in any capacity at all. But hey, what do I know, guys? Let's jump into the video.
Any girl that is paying over $3,000 in bills on her own every single month is not interested in you texting her, "What are you doing?" We're just not interested in that. What am I doing? I'm working. I'm making money. I'm keeping my house clean. That's what I'm doing. I have fucking bills to pay. I got shit to do. I swear to God, like, I'm going to be single for the rest of my life. Like, this, I can't.
She acts like she's better than men because she pays her bills, goes to work, and cleans her house. Like, this isn't something that men do. I just don't understand women like this, man. They're not the brightest, are they?
You work hard all day, and then you get home to an ungrateful partner who is constantly asking you to do more and more around the house. Men don't get married. It's not worth it.
If women can get pregnant once in the space of 9 months, once, but men can impregnate many women in the space of 9 months, shouldn't birth control be for men and not women? Suspicious behavior.
Men do have their own contraception, and many men use it responsibly, but there's too much risk involved when dealing with a modern woman who swears that she's on some form of birth control. And just by the way, guys, this is something that women lie about all of the damn time. Very dangerous for men.
So I saw this trend on TikTok, and it was this girl saying, "Why don't men want to get married? Men would stitch it." And all the reasons they gave were hunky-dory, all of them. But here's one thing, okay? If there's one thing I've learned in business, which you should treat your marriage like a business, aka get a prenuptial agreement. That's the least you could do, but never sign a contract with somebody who benefits from breaking that contract.
This is exactly why marriage is so pointless nowadays. Men are expected to step up, sign everything over to a woman who is under no obligation to take her vows seriously at all, and then the men can lose everything the second his wife decides that she's unhappy one random Tuesday. It's not worth it for guys.
Men had, or if there were laws in place that insured men financially, anything, like after the divorce, kind of like how women are insured, things would be a lot different. Thank you.
Anytime a law gets passed that benefits men in divorce, it's seen as the ultimate act of evil because men aren't allowed to have any support in this world, but are expected to support the world in the process nonetheless.
I'm going to go ahead and speak for all women here. Not a single one of us gives a single about why men are leaving. The problem is our standards are up here and you can't meet.
I've never hated another person more than I hate the person that I married. He goes to work. Yeah, his job's hard. Yeah, his hours suck. He works. That is all he does. Yeah, I don't work, but the amount of weight I carry, I can tell you why I've stayed. Money. It's that simple. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom.
My husband left the night that I posted that original video.
Yes! Hell yeah!
Imagine being married to a woman, you're working on yourself every day to try and provide the life you want her to have, only to turn around and see that she posted a video where she tells the entire internet that she hates you. That changes a man forever.
You're punished if you do the patriarchal thing and pay all the bills. You're actually punished for it in court, and your child support payment. Like, I just interviewed a guy in, I think it was Idaho, and he supported his wife, had 5 kids for 20 years, and she divorced him. And he now has to delay his retirement by 12 years. He's in his 50s, 60s, around there. So I think I calculated it out. He'd be 69 when he could actually retire. Was that worth it? She alienated the kids from him. Now his kids don't like him.
The fact that there are so many mothers out there who have no problem lying to their children just to get them to hate their fathers is honestly just disturbing. And it shows how little they actually care about their own children oftentimes.
Do you know that women leave men 80% of the time? And if they're college educated, it's 90.
The statistic you just saw is 100% true. Women initiate divorce over 60% of the time, and if they're college educated, it is over 80% of the time. And there's a lot of psychology behind this, but in speaking with my female clients who are initiating divorce, a lot of this is a frustration over being a high earner and high achiever in the workplace, but then coming home and not feeling like they have an equal partner at home in the household duties and with the children duties. They feel like they are pulling double duty while their spouse is not carrying their weight. I see this time and time again with high performing and high income earning females. What are your thoughts?
There is nothing equal about an equal partnership when it comes to marriage, and that's because the wife will constantly be moving the goalposts, so whenever the husband does anything, it's never enough.
Have you guys noticed that most married men aren't actually happy? Most married men are lying to themselves and gaslighting themselves into thinking that they're happy in a marriage which is loveless, sexless, where the woman always argues and belittles and emasculates them. Their wife endlessly nags at them while they're working full-time, trying to provide for her, for the family. Men will often victimize themselves and say that their mental load is overbearing.
We live in a time where if a man just wants a peaceful place to come home to, that is seen as a massive insult to a wife. She thinks it's her job to make her husband's life a living hell for reasons that she can't even explain.
Meanwhile, the man has to look at the big picture, worry about the wife, the kids, working every day, endlessly paying for all of the bills, providing. He has to worry about investments, about retirement, about the college funds for the kids. Meanwhile, the woman only has to worry about preparing dinner, keeping the house clean, making sure that the kids are happy and healthy. The woman will say that she's overstimulated just because she has to cook dinner and keep the house clean.
On the flip side of that, the wife will also refuse to do those things because she married the man to be a quote-unquote equal partner, not to be his mother, so she'll expect him to do her work as well as his.
But they never stop to consider the mental load that men have. Most men stay in relationships so they don't lose everything, so they can see their kids and they don't have to split custody. It's truly so sad how many men gaslight themselves into staying in a relationship where both parties are not happy and they feel like they can't speak up because they have a wife who berates them or emasculates them and belittles them on the daily.
This whole mental load argument makes absolutely no sense. Modern wives think that organizing their thoughts is somehow the same thing as a man who breaks his back 12 hours a day to provide for his family. It's such a childish argument and it makes no sense.
I don't know when we're finally going to realize that men in their 40s are not to be messed around with. I mean, he can absolutely admire a woman, but when that woman takes him for granted, that man is going to be gone. Because trust me, he's already experienced a one-sided relationship where his love and affection was never appreciated. So when he starts to see signs of this, he is just done. No warning, no explanation, he is just gone.
Modern women think that they're going to be able to get a guy who's their age, but the dudes in their 30s and 40s won't go near them because they know women like this are entitled and disrespectful.
One guy who for sure made me come in my entire life, and literally when I got divorced, I looked him up and I was like, where is he? He used to play basketball on the Marquette team. He never went pro. I was like, where did he go? He became a pastor. And him and his wife share an Instagram. So I'm like, this is going to be tricky to get to him, but I will go to a confessional.
He's like, hey, Brittany, you can come to church.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be like, daddy. He'll be like, you mean father?
You need help. It's insane how this woman thinks that it's cute and funny to stalk a man that she used to sleep with to try and ruin his life. Absolutely crazy.
Finally have fun on your date.
Well, this is starting out nicely. A friend wishing another friend a good time on their date.
I hope they fucking hate each other so badly. Oh my god.
Oh dear, it seems like someone's true colors are coming out.
I cannot afford to lose my only single friend.
It's so nice to see women supporting other women, isn't it?
Like, seriously, the state needs to go back, or I'm going to be really, really upset.
I hope this was a skit, because if it's not, I would say that someone could definitely do better in the friend department than to have someone that would say one thing to their face and another thing completely different behind their back and then post it on social media of all things.
The funny thing about the sisterhood is how many of these women are only actually interested in keeping other people miserable and alone, just like them. So it's only natural she'd be praying for the date to go badly.
But if it is a skit, it actually is an excellent example of how oftentimes it is some single women that really want to seem to keep other women single because they don't want to be the only ones left unmatched. And it is really unfortunate that many of us out there have had friends like this in the past that would rather have someone to keep them company in their own misery than to see someone actually be happy.
Modern women love to tell on themselves. They have no problem confessing how they want to keep their single friends single just because they don't want to be the odd woman out. They see people as possessions, not actual humans, and honestly, it's incredibly sad.
Nobody talks about what happens when you finally get the most perfect man. Everything's great, everything's healthy, there's nothing wrong with the man, but you know that he's just not your perfect man. Nobody talks about that. That is an extremely hard situation. I just had to cut off somebody because they were literally, it was perfect, but I knew deep down and I knew in my intuition they weren't my perfect man. And I feel like that is not talked about enough.
Whenever a modern woman starts to ramble on something that isn't talked about enough, it's usually talked about far too damn much, and modern women sabotaging perfectly good relationships for no reason is talked about far too much online.
I don't know if I only see this shit on TikTok, but it's like the dumbest and most maddening and nonsensical things I can ever see. And this is why just good men have given up. It's like, oh, it's not, there's 3 billion men in the world or something like that. Of course, mathematically, you can find somebody else that's going to be a perfect man match for you. But why not work on the one that's right in front of you? It doesn't make any sense. Please, somebody explain this bullshit logic to me. Or is it just she just want to keep, just date a bunch of different guys and sleep around? I don't know. Tell me.
There is nothing to explain. Modern women are incapable oftentimes of being happy. They assume a man will make them happy even when he does everything right. She will still leave him because TikTok told her that she could do better.
Anyone who's not convinced yet that the big divorce is coming,
I totally agree that the big divorce is coming and it's going to be a rude awakening for men. Well, I hope it's the rude awakening that men have needed for thousands of years.
It's pretty disturbing to watch these women practically salivate at the idea of men getting destroyed in divorce. They never pass up an opportunity to insult them and then kick men when they're already down.
I have 4 big things to say about this, but first of all, I'm not quite sure where this belief came from that if more women divorce their husbands, that these men are just going to believe that it was all their fault and they're going to grow and get better. No, there's never just fault on one side, and men know that. Second of all, most men that go through divorce end up losing a lot in the form of lost time with their children and financially through spousal support and child support. So many men just feel victimized by the court system.
What's really sad is how whenever men try to voice their issues with divorce, the internet is very quick to rally together to assume that the man is at fault for why the wife wanted that divorce. We see it all of the time.
Thirdly, a lot of these men that get put through the ringer, they eventually build themselves back and they realize that they're a lot happier being single. It's actually a lot more peaceful for them. And fourthly and lastly, a lot of men never want to get married again, or in the first place, because they hear women like this talking about divorce as if it's some sort of punishment for her not being happy, as if his needs and the family's needs have nothing to do with it. And men are smarter than that. They don't want any part of it.
When these women talk about how divorce needs to be celebrated, all they're doing is telling men that getting married is a complete and utter waste of time. There is no benefit for them to make that kind of sacrifice. But anyway, guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Drop a comment and I will see you all in the next one. Make sure you take care of yourselves. Peace.